right, Hacksters, good morning. This week's guests for Hackster Café, very exciting, the Ruiz Brothers from Adafruit. Well, you're not from Adafruit. Let me actually show you. We can't quite get both of us on the same, all three of us on the same screen. Oh, there we go.
Hey, folks.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, Alex. Good morning, I guess.
Yeah, I think Lamar refers to us as Adafruit South.
Southwest.
Southwest, yeah.
Wait, Southeast.
Well,
Sorry.
Central now. We're in Orlando.
Hi.
Solid.
Hey, folks.
Yeah, is that
We
Travis?
are,
Anyway,
Yeah, we're in the YouTube chat. We're in the Discord. If anybody has any questions on any of the projects or any general questions to add on to, I'll go ahead and ask us there, and we'll do our best to answer them.
This is going to be one of the easiest interviews ever because you are seasoned pros at running your own video channels and interviews and stuff. So that's very exciting. So could you tell us what your names are and what you get up to?
Okay. Hey, my name is Noé Ruiz. I design things at Adafruit. I've been with Adafruit since 2012, I want to say, or 2013, something like that.
Yeah.
We do learn guides. I also do some layer-by-layer tutorials, among other things. But mostly we do learn guides and projects with Adafruit and Pedro.
Yeah,
my brother.
I'm Pedro Ruiz, Creative Tech, I guess is my title that I think Phil gave me. And every week we show how to make really cool projects using 3D printing and electronics, featuring all of the boards from Adafruit. So a lot of our tasks are designing, enclosures for boards that are coming out, or doing like marketing materials, like a bunch of video or graphics or web posts, or like
a mix of
blogs.
some things that we can bounce around. But yeah, mostly projects, but every now and then we'll do a little bit of some background work for like the web team or the IO team.
Or like marketing stuff. Like if Lamar wants like a shirt with a blink on it.
Right. Should we say like where did we start? Sort of like where it's kind of our traditional background. You have more of a video. Yeah. So Pedro's more of a video back. Yeah. You go ahead and tell your background.
It's got to be in 3D animation, motion graphics, video production, and with all that, I was able to, when 3D printers started becoming affordable and you could actually do something with it. We're running a little agency, and we just started getting into designing physical, objects for clients, and then we saw wearables with Becky Stern on Adafruit. We went on the show and tell and showed off a couple of projects. Phil was like, "Hey, we have a budget. Do you guys want to like do this every week?" We're like, "Yeah, totally." A lot more better than chasing down a client.
Yeah, we kind of owe our careers to Becky in a way. So if you're watching Becky, we always keep thinking.
Yeah, totally.
I similar, but not too much video. I was more of like a designer. It started with graphic design, then went to web, and then mobile. And then right around when 2012, when Pedro got the MakerBot, I was like, what's this 3D stuff about? So I taught myself Tinkercad and then eventually Fusion. But yeah, our first kind of project was just lighting things up. Since we both have a graphic design background, I was like, let's put some lights in our logos and make them light up. All roads lead to Adafruit when it comes to LEDs and NeoPixels. And yeah, I think you were watching one of the Wearable Wednesdays, and you asked a question. You won a Flora,
right,
and because you got the Flora, you ordered some more stuff, right? Like the color sensor. And we recreated a project where we stuffed it in a different thing. That's kind of what Kickstarter, like, all right, we can have some code we can use or some example code, and we can kind of dress it up and do something completely different with it.
Yeah.
So Pedro's first project was like a light up LED belt buckle, and mine was, you can see it's a Midi Guitar with arcade buttons.
Yeah.
That one right there.
Well, that's one. That's V2. V1 is like up there. You can't really see it. Yeah, there it is. Arcade buttons next to the torch there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of a really quick wrapped up summary of what happened. But there we go.
What's it like collaborating with each other? You seem to really gel and like you work well together.
Right. I kind of miss that.
Yeah, so totally not our first job where we've worked together.
Yeah, we've been working with each other since we kind of started doing freelance work back in, I don't know, the early 2000s, right? 2006 or something, maybe.
Like high school.
Yeah, in high school, we went to the same high school, and we kind of
had like one class together.
we had one class together, which was very strange because we're 4 years apart. But we ended up doing that. I sat in on some of your college classes too.
That's right. Yeah.
Which I quickly learned maybe that's not for me. But yeah, we sorry, I lost my train of thought. I don't know what else.
How we collaborate.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know. We just like the same shit, and we're just like brothers. Not a lot of brothers do like the same stuff, which is kind of odd. Maybe we just give kudos to our mother because she's a really great person. Yeah. It taught us well, right, to play well with each other.
I can tell by the way that you're answering these questions. You have this great rapport. You like talk on top of each other and sort of feed off each other's energy. It's so good. We
don't actually collab though on projects, right? Like you're on your own thing, I'm on my own thing. But
it's in production, so right, when you got like you're filming a thing, you need someone to do the camera work, or where I need someone to do the programming.
I need someone to rack focus for me, or vice versa. We get stuck on a shot, and we'll help each other out.
breaks.
A printer breaks.
Go in and fix it.
Yeah, we'll fix it. But yeah, we don't really. Where we do collab is like because we have like a catalog of projects and stuff. Like I'll look at like this with this lemon pad project. I had to look at your previous design for the cutie pie. I'm like, what did he do here to get the tolerances? Yeah. And that's kind of our way of collaborating. It's just checking each other's work, looking at the previous thing, and just kind of comparing them and seeing, like, can I use this mechanism, or can I use these, values or whatever these dimensions?
I'm like, I know, why is this sketch not working in Fusion?
Yeah, I was like, well,
or why is this library not working when I'm trying to, get this code to work?
Yeah, and then when it comes to video stuff, Pedro normally color corrects all my footage because I don't like to do that, and I'll do the audio kind of things because I have more of an audio background. So we have this weird mix where we kind of push it back and forth, but when
there'll be gaps that we fill in.
Yeah, but we still kind of stay apart from each other. It's this weird.
It's the only way to get like a project every single week out.
Right. Like I got to do it. Yeah. So we collab, but we also are in our silos. But we visit each other.
That's totally how collaboration works for me. I feel like I have to have like. Plus, I kind of want to be the master of my own little domain. Like, no, it's mine, and like this part is mine. You don't tell me what to do. I don't tell you what to do. I don't know. It seems healthy. But you also collaborate with, you also collaborate with lots of other people. Like, for example, on this one, this is the one that really caught my eye recently, of course, because I'm like, companion bots, look at it, it's adorable, it's Zelda, it's this is, can you tell us about this project? I will come back to the collaboration thing, but.
No, we were talking earlier before the show went on, and it was Lamar's idea, watching you and Jay have all those really cool shoulder bots, companion bots. And then my 7-year-old Gavin was like, Daddy, can I please have a little Terrako? So that's when I know I have to work on a project, when it's Lamar and my son who are like, sort of telling me, yeah, you should probably work on this. So that's how this came about. He really likes Zelda. He liked Breath of the Wild. And then I always get the name wrong, Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity.
There you go.
And we had Phil B do the code for this one. So it's all in CircuitPython, and it's just randomizing movements with the light. And let's see, turn them on real quick.
Ooh.
And here it is. So, all 3D printed. You got like these little ball joint legs. And if I go ahead and take him apart, it's not really decapitating him. It's super modular. So you can see how
you have a little tab that you push and it pops apart.
No. It's these little tabs on the side.
Pull it out, right?
Yeah, that snap fit into the little spokes of this horn, the servo horn. And it's just a NeoPixel inside there and a battery. And then on the bottom, this is all snap fit together. So super easy, modular. You can use whatever board you guys want in this. All the parts you can just edit if you want to use like a Itsy Bitsy or a Teensy or any other sort of board. Super modular. That's sort of what Lamar and Phil tasked us to do, to make it sure that anybody can go in here and have fun and edit and use whatever board they want. But obviously, we'll suggest people use some of the Adafruit boards to support all this. But it's super modular. You can use any board you want, and you have a couple of room there for like adding like do like environmental sensing or something like that.
Audio or something.
Audio, yeah. A lot of the time, the projects to just finish them in time, we have to like do like a minimum viable, just to have that go out there and have people add and modify it and have it be exactly how they want. And then on the bottom lid here, you have a little magnet here, so you can attach it to your shoulder. You just have like another magnet, or but we see like a lot at the Disney parks. They have like this metal thing that goes onto your shoulder, and it just magnetically attaches.
Wait, at the Disney parks, they have little metal things on your shoulder? Wait, tell me more about that.
It's little plushies for all of the characters they have.
Oh, no way.
Everybody walks around with them. Yeah, at first I thought, the companion bots were like, oh, that's pretty cool. But then you see everybody wearing them, and it's like, okay, there is something totally
Yeah.
do this. Yeah, it's super cute. So yeah, that's it. It all snap fits together like that. Then you have access to all of your USB ports there for charging, and then you have a little on and off button right there. And that's pretty much it. Not full printed, like his eye comes off. It's translucent filament, and then it's just acrylic painting all around. But yeah,
I was wondering about that. Yeah.
Terrako.
So you mentioned that it's modular and you can sort of swap in whatever controller you want. Is there a particular Adafruit controller that you sort of find yourselves coming back to again and again, or do you have different preferences?
I think it depends on the form factors. Usually what it
scale and
comes
whatever
down to.
features, but I almost always default to the feather because it has everything you need, and it's that's the right size. It'll fit in a small or a big project. So it's, for me, it's always the feather, and that can be kind of problematic because then like I always default to it, and then like I'll have to change it out. So you talk about modular, you want to make sure that your piece of your project, whatever is being mounted to the board, make sure that piece is modular so that you can change that piece out. You don't have to reprint the whole Terrako, right? Yeah. So that's a good kind of tip. It's like definitely make whatever enclosure lid that's going to hide your electronics, make that piece modular so you can change out your board.
I love that idea. I sort of switched from 3D printing to laser cutting some of my bots because it would take so long to 3D print the parts. But if you make it modular, then A, you can sort of fit the prints in whenever, and like if you got a monitor or whatever, but also B, you can just replace the part that broke. It's so good.
Yeah, exactly.
There's just that one like balance of like, oh no, I spent all this time modeling to make it modular. There's that thing.
It's worth it in the end, though.
Balance out,
especially when I have like a 6-hour print and your little tab breaks off, and you're like, no.
Oh yeah.
That's painful.
There was a cool thing about this this lemon bot you mentioned, that there's like a
so this is this right here is called the fuzzy skin feature inside of Cura, and it's just a quick way to add a little bit of texture to the outside of your prints. Recently added to this feature is the ability to say, I just want to have the fuzzy skin on the outside, because on the inside you kind of need it to be soft. So for example, the way this cover pops open is it has these little kind of nubbins, and this lip here snaps into them. But if you were to kind of do that fuzzy feature all the way on the inside, it wouldn't work, right? It's nice that the feature lets you do only on the outside. So that's a new kind of feature inside of Cura called fuzzy skin, and I used it here for this outer skin piece.
That's really
and then
nice.
combined with like a textured bed, like a PEI sheet, you can kind of get this super cool texture on the surface of your prints. So little keypad. I'm using it right now as a media controller. So like just playing music in YouTube, play, pause, that sort of thing. And then for the board, it's the Cutie Pie with the RP2040 and a NeoPixel, because why not? You want to make it glow. But the Cutie Pie ended up being really good for this because it has like just enough GPIO to do a handful of keys and of course a NeoPixel. And I could add some stemma stuff to it as well. You could always do I2C sensors right here. But yeah, that's kind of like my favorite board right now, the Cutie Pie, and USB-C, whether you like it or not. I like it. It's here. So yeah.
What is the name of that one again? It's like the Cutie Pie, but with the RP2040.
Cutie Pie RP2040.
Oh, okay.
Makes it easy, right?
We kind of try to keep it simple in the name.
And when we're on that subject, Tariq on YouTube was asking the process for making one of these. I just linked the layer by layer tutorial that shows you all steps.
Yeah, it talks about the fuzzy skin. Maybe I'll do a tutorial on how I designed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be really interesting. You also just mentioned printing on a particular type of bed to give it some texture. And it reminds me of this other thing that some people were doing a while ago with like printing on a diffraction grating so that you get this amazing like iridescent thing. I saw someone doing it with chocolate like a year or so ago. And then
it was David Shorey. Lamar saw his and was like, hey guys, you got to make a tutorial on this, please. So a lot of the ideas and projects, they're all Lamar and Phil.
Yeah, we just execute it. Yeah, this was a great one. It's still kind of an untapped technique. I don't see a lot of it. I guess you really kind of have to want it. What were some caveats with? Is there any reason why not to do everything? Like,
I don't think so. I think just it
was the leveling difficult or something?
No, not at all. I guess just the size of the sheet is the only limiting factor here.
Okay, there's a little bit
But
of
this would
extra.
be perfect for like wearables, like doing fashion type stuff with
I'm
it.
sure he's doing some great stuff with this.
Yeah. It's done a ton of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything where you need a little extra like shine, but it has to be on a flat surface, right? Because you're sort of printing it onto this.
Yeah,
that's a great
thing,
point. Whatever is on it doesn't do it to all sides, just wherever the bed is.
Yeah,
like what you print onto the bed. So yeah, that's the only caveat.
This would work well, I guess, for these keycaps. You could have some rainbow keycaps.
Yeah,
sort of thing. Yeah. That's
cool. That's right. Of course, you printed your own keycaps for that thing. But they are sort of standard buttons underneath, right? Everyone's getting into these mechanical keyboards now. I honestly kind of am because of this stenography thing I'm trying to do. Oh, look at that.
Yep, those are
these are Kali white box. They're Cherry MX compatible. But
is there like a specific oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, there's a little key plate that holds them in place there that they snap fit into. Yeah, I can take it. I guess I'll take this apart. This little piece comes out.
Oh, look at that.
And this cover comes. I know, it's like taking apart is so much more cooler. And that's the keypad. This comes out here. And, that's the
so modular. How many pieces are there?
Yeah. I don't know, like 5 or something. The reason why it's modular really is because like I need the colors.
You didn't want to dual.
Yeah, I didn't want to dual print it, but there you go. Yeah, I might have over-engineered a little bit, but it's kind of fun. Though.
I could see it with like a yellow and teal or something. Would be,
I have them in the other room.
Where's the other one? Oh no, it's in the other room. It's like
you can make like a watermelon. Oh, I got a line.
Tested a bunch of different colors out for these. And again, if you want to like make like a keyboard thinking, you can always grab like the objects for these, like the little what are they called?
Little stems.
The little stems. So we take care of like having any tolerances. You can just grab those pieces and apply to whatever project keyboard project.
This was
from like here
yesterday. So check it out.
Yeah.
There you go.
Solid. I'm gonna do that.
There's the cat and. Like you were saying before, we used Fusion 360, but they allow you to export like into Onshape or a DFX or like any number of like files. So they may not be open source, but the file that you get out of it.
I gotta think you might scroll down into the page and there's
let's talk about Bundlefly.
No, not yet.
Oh,
all the way to the bottom.
Look at this. Okay, I was wondering like how many pieces there are. I can just like go through. Wow. Okay, so Bundlefly. Or what?
Not Butterfly. Yeah. So where it says design source files, one more down.
Oh,
that one. So that link right there is our GitHub repo for all of our 3D parts. So like the So like the Cherry MX switch is a 3D model that you can use, or the Cutie Pie, or the NeoPixel ring.
Or if you just want like a board, you can just type in the product number. That's what those numbers are at the right there. Yeah, you can find them that way too.
Right. So if you got a servo, we also have like kind of common parts too, like servos and batteries and things. Yeah, you can also add part requests too in the issues tab if you want. But
cool.
I started doing this, I guess, 3 years ago now. It says because Lamar uses EagleCAD, and with Autodesk it works really well. So I can like quickly generate a 3D model from Lamar's boards, and it just really makes my workflow a lot easier. I just started collecting these, and it's always nice to kind of let them know, hey, you can use all of our parts. They definitely help us quickly make these things all snap fit.
Because that's a lot of time figuring out the tolerances for that, or making sure like if it's a board or the mounting holes are correct.
Right. You mentioned you were using a MakerBot before. Is that still what you prefer?
No, it's been quite a.
We donated.
We've donated them to several places, but our number 2 printers mostly is the Cruelty CR10 and the Ultimakers. So those are our printers of choice. But we also got a FlashForge Inventor, the little one. We still have a Prusa i3.
Yep.
What else do we have still? I think that's about it, huh?
Just the Cruelties, I think. The V1, the V3.
Yeah. So a good mix of, Bowden and kind of your standard direct drive.
Yeah.
We used to have a resin printer, the Autodesk Ember back in the day. Remember the printer? Yeah.
I was at Pier 9 when they were developing that. But it was very, very early stages, I think, back in the day.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. It had a circular display.
Oh,
We did a couple projects with it.
I think it stopped being supported,
it's
right?
something supported.
firmware.
Oh, I guess I'm not shocked about that.
Yeah.
Then now you're FDM all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're FDM all the time. We do have a little CNC machine, which we use now and then, which is really great. It's for Bantam tools.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we use that, but no laser cutter yet. Maybe we'll get something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Glowforge or something.
Oh yeah, Glowforge is great. We have one of those in the office. I super dig it. So of course, like I mentioned, we've got your individual Twitters over here. Everyone, you can find those links in the description. Let's take a look at some more live demos. You said that you have a few of them, and it's my favorite part. So let's take a look.
Is it charging? Is that one charging?
Yeah, that one's charging. The other
Okay,
way.
we've got a number of other ones though that you mentioned.
Okay. Yeah,
Why
yeah.
don't you just pick?
Yeah, I have the Midi Guitar here, which is a MIDI controller. It's in the shape of the Flying V guitar, and this is the collab project with Liz Clark, and it's got Cherry MX keys. It's a MIDI controller, right, running CircuitPython. Let me plug it in and kind of. I really like this one a lot because it was a lot of fun mechanical kind of figuring out. So if you've ever played with the Guitar Hero, it has this really cool mechanism for strumming, and the goal for this project was to replicate that. So we got this kind of strumming bit here, and then of course we got a whammy bar with an actual spring that does modulation. And that's an accelerometer that we can do stuff with, and of course the head lights up with black acrylic, right? So I just have GarageBand plugged in. It's kind of weird to play, with these keys, but it's kind of fun. What's up?
Yeah, it's just a MIDI.
Yeah, it's just a MIDI controller. I'm just playing
GarageBand
on the phone, so it's using CircuitPython USB MIDI library to do these kind of on-off notes. But it could also do some modulation and stuff. The learn guide for this is, I guess, just type in MIDI guitar.
Yeah, MX Cherry.
There it is. Oh, this is such a fun collab.
It's so cute. You've done a couple of MIDI projects with Liz, it looks
like all of them. Yeah, maybe check her out for the next interview.
Oh, totally. I would love to have her on.
Yeah. So, what can I say about this one? Yeah, from a CAD standpoint, it was a good exercise in like kind of designing pieces independently from each other. Normally, I model everything together in one massive design, but this one, I had to really do them piece by piece.
Components.
So like this piece here, that was.
Are those rotary encoders you're using?
They're just pots. Yeah, they're just pots. Yeah.
Cool.
I forget which one that probably controls modulation or something. But yeah, that you what was I saying about the CAD stuff? A lot of CAD work. Check it out.
A bunch of different components that you're using.
It's modular too. When I had to make sure that this one was I could fit it on your 3D printer. So splicing it up in a way that looked nice, where the seams kind of complement the design was another fun thing that was cool to figure out. But yeah, huge shout out to Liz for helping in this one.
I feel like you could just so easily have a little riff that you play at the start of your videos or whatever, like Ruiz Brothers.
Did you show off
I want to do that now.
Which one?
Liz is on now. Hey, Liz.
Hey, Liz.
Mr. Certainly.
And Mr. Certainly. Hey.
Yeah, indeed. You've got this other one that you were talking about. Oh, nope. There we go. This little MIDI melody maker as well. This
was a lot of. This one was all CNC, which was a really good change from the 3D printing. Yeah, because it just looks gorgeous. You could just get such beautiful material, right? Like this frosted purple and this walnut. Super cool. You could 3D print it too. It was really nice to play around with different materials and cut down materials and learn how to cut acrylic, learn how to cut your wood and stuff.
So is this a router or a 3D laser cutter?
This was with the router, the CNC, the Bantam Tools little one. So we kept it nice and small.
Cool.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend you put
Python.
Yeah,
definitely check it out. Really good use of the MIDI library again for CircuitPython.
and like creating the menu system and all that too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what's it like designing a menu for one of these? Because you've got a limited little real estate on the screen there.
Yeah.
So
You'll have to ask Liz.
Yeah, so user experience.
Okay, fair. We'll definitely get her
all
on
that out.
as long as
Yeah,
she's
sure.
down, which I certainly hope. Yeah, I was trying to find there's a spot in that video where she actually does a little sort of melody on it, and it looks so cool.
Yeah.
So tell us about this. Oh, sorry.
Oh, that one? Do you want me to grab it real quick, or
Let's see if that one works, the big one.
What's the deal?
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Pedro. Grab my demo for me while I talk about it. Yeah, this was a really fun one. This was inspired by David projects on Instagram. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of riff on that idea. Yeah, I wanted to riff on this idea and make it kind of more modular and snap fit and all that kind of things that we've learned over the years. And the code was actually done by Carter Nielsen, who's on the support team for Adafruit on the remote team. And he originally made it with like some cardboard. He kind of made like this really easy enclosure, and I just really wanted to go all out with like all the details and stuff.
Oh, this thing.
Yeah.
I love how you can sort of take the same project from like David's version over to like one place on Adafruit, over to another place on Adafruit, and just see the iterations. Even this like little triangle enclosure is pretty great. I made a little speaker and a thing like that once.
That's cool. Triangles are
good.
Great.
Totally.
It's so sturdy and so easy to build. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so this is kind of like the bigger version of it. I made two different versions of it because we have two different sizes of these LED matrices, and of course it's dead. But
of course.
I was like, let me find a cable to plug it in. Good thing we have line guides with photos. But let's plug it in and see what happens. What's great about it is that it's CircuitPython, right? I plug it in, the code's going to show up.
Yeah.
There we go.
I love that part
It's
of
like
how you
charging.
can just like plug it in and suddenly like you see everything that's running on the device and other stuff that's saved on there and whatever.
What's funny is like that's helped us so much tremendously from like a filming, point. Like I need to like go to this other computer and like plug in the thing and the code's there.
Yeah.
I don't have to reinstall Arduino in my board profiles. Yay!
You don't have to have your files on all the different machines. You can even store different pieces. If you have enough space, you can store different pieces of code on there and just like name the different things.
Yeah, for sure. This modular as well. Like I forgot like what pieces snap open. Like I think this snaps open. There's like not anything in there, so there's room in there for stuff. Some good air in there. You can stuff some air.
So many of these designs have extra space that if someone wants to follow these tutorials, they can just like add extra sensors, extra actuators, extra like, a little timer beep or whatever you want.
Folks definitely have.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff have people put in it? Or in other projects?
Not this one, but just other different projects. Folks will like the guitar version. Folks have remixed that one to be a game controller, which is funny because like I took the idea from a game controller and made it, and they just make it back into the game controller. So that's just one example. We've had several lightsaber rebuilds, remakes, and stuff where folks add more things to it. Just more lights, right?
Speaking of
bigger batteries. Do we want to talk about lightsabers?
Yeah.
Okay. You got this dark saber on here.
Oh, man, he hits a fan. So dark sabers are quite interesting because they're the one shape that like are like the best for a feather. That's the board there.
Oh yeah.
So it's got like that. Oh, I'm hitting the fan there. It's got that katana kind of thing, and this kind of pops out, right? So you can take the board out, and it just kind of comes right back in. Batteries in there as well. Hopefully it still turns on. Yeah. So what's super about cool is like the blade is all 3D printed, right? And then making it so that the whole blade is diffused was a fun kind of challenge.
Yeah.
And like because of the design of this like black piece here, it kind of covers the screws and where the wiring is and where the LED strip is. So like the design itself made it into like this like what it is now, which is kind of neat. It just fits perfectly for it.
How did you get it to attach together so solidly? I'm assuming it's not like a huge 3D print, or maybe it is.
Nope, it's the blades are two pieces. Yeah, they're two pieces, and you can print it diagonally. And then the screws are hidden behind this cover, which is a part of the design. And because of that cover, it really does hide like the assembly, which is great. So it just like
Brilliant.
super easy, but this is where the seam is. You can't even see it.
Uh-huh.
I could turn it off and you can see it better, but that's where the seam is. And then inside this cover here, I can't take out the cover because I have it glued, but there are some hex nuts and screws that should secure it together. And then because of the new printer mill, like folks are printing this out with like in one piece, which is kind of fun to see.
With the Creality one that has all
the Naomi, the Naomi 3D
printer. The Naomi printer.
Yeah,
the CR30 or something.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. But this was a lot of fun to work on.
Yeah, to answer your question, this is all 3D printed, right?
Yeah, all 3D printed, like all of it.
Yeah, we tried doing the laser cut part.
We did, yeah. We got this laser cut from like Pinocchio, but I
cost prohibitive.
Yeah, yeah, and like folks are saying, why don't you 3D print it? I was like, well, because why don't I 3D print it?
It's trying to do something different, but it turned out to be the best way to do it.
It's kind of because like I saw other folks build it and they used acrylic, but just because other folks are doing it doesn't mean you have to do the same thing. But yeah. Have
you ever thought about doing like a class on snap fit design? I would love to take a class like that just to learn how to.
I'd like to do like maybe like a talk or something. But yeah, there are some tutorials I have on snap fit. I have a layer by layer playlist on YouTube, and you can check that one out.
I will definitely look that up. I'm going to link it in the description to this because that's extremely relevant to my interest, and it seems like such a forte of yours.
Yes, I like the snap fits.
Super handy.
Wait. It was layer by layer, like a here we go, like a series of various things, and then like you have one that's on snap fitting.
Yep.
Oh, here we go. High badge snap fit case.
There you go. Yeah.
Yep. And then there's one specifically on like cylindrical snap fit parts.
Yeah. There's different ways to do the recipe, right? So
excellent.
And then over the years, it's evolved to like how we actually made the geometry for the snap fits that always updates as well. Yeah. Just depending on the form factor that you're designing, you can modify the design to make it work for that form.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can make it parametric so it's scalable too.
I noticed you've also done a tutorial on, I'm trying to find, here we go, on heat set inserts. And this is something that I've never tried myself, but I'm very interested in. It seems like a versatile kind of way to add metal pieces for connectors, like really robust connectors to 3D prints. And I'm curious what kinds of situations you use these in, what kinds of projects have you used this in, and can you sort of explain heat set inserts for our audience maybe?
Yeah, I think you're attaching things together that require like weight, right? More than 5 pounds or something, you need these things to hold weight. That's when you want heat set inserts. Yes, that
so good.
Sorry. Mr. Certainly has the best puns.
Master punner.
Yeah.
But
something that you're like reattach or screwing in, like,
which is funny. It's like we did this tool, but we don't actually use a lot of heat set inserts because, again, like there's a lot of our projects don't have a lot of weight doing it. However, though, no, actually, I didn't use them on this one either. I just used cap nuts. Quick think. What do I have to use the heat set insert?
I think the reason you accepted the challenge was just to make the rig. I think it was.
It was a prop. It was the key blade, which I don't have it in this room because it's the kiddos. It's a key blade, and I needed the two halves to be really secured shut. And because of wear and tear, what will happen with a 3D printed a screw that's going into a print, eventually the threads in your 3D print will just wear out with a lot of use. That's where you want to use the heat set insert. Inserting them, I remember messing up one of the heat set inserts in my 10-hour print was garbage. No. It's like, I can't fix this. That's when I was like, okay, I gotta do a tool because like I just couldn't. I got burned literally from that. So I collabed with Bill Binko, and he had some ideas too. Because originally it was going to be like this router type attachment, but he came up with like, how about we just make it a single piece of 2020 extrusion, and then we'll have a little bearing on the top there, and then we'll have a counterweight.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a drill press almost.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
But yeah, for future projects, again, where you have something, maybe you're doing a tripod or something that's going to hold some weight, then you definitely want to use a heat set insert. These things are just little kind of demo prints that I'm showing. But the one I did end up doing was for that key blade, which was like a giant prop. So for props and things, I think it's a good idea if you're going to do something that's going to have a lot of weight. This one, however, like I said, I didn't have to use it. I figured out, let me just use some cap nuts instead. But yeah, you'll have to figure out what makes sense.
So
Heat set and fits.
Good stuff. So what's up next for you guys? Can you say anything, or is anything?
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be the lemon mac pad.
Yeah, I'll make a video for it.
So this guy's up next.
You put us in a good kind of spot where like things are up in the air. There's a talk about a watermelon prop from Star Trek. It's a very obscure. Yeah, I don't even like. It's got a story behind it.
I know about the watermelon from Buckaroo Banzai, but not the one from Star Trek.
It's Star Trek, like the
animated
cartoon,
series. Yeah.
The animated series.
Oh, like Below Decks or Lower Decks? Or a different one. I'm not well versed enough in my Trek lore.
Yeah, neither are we. This was again suggested by Phil Lamar and Phil B, who really wanted. He has like
I'm
this
getting
whole.
the sense that those guys are nerds.
they
might
like a
all
lot
be
of
nerds.
geek pop culture. Yeah, they're really into that.
In the best of ways.
Yeah, because a lot of really cool ideas that you can make for especially with the electronics and printing. Like case in point, even like the Dark Saber. We were at Galaxy's Edge over the weekend, and they still don't have the one that they showed on Mandalorian. It's still the one from the animated series, so it's like the flat one, and it's from Hasbro, so it's for kids, so it doesn't look as detailed as one that you could make yourself.
Yeah, that is the bonus of being able to do this stuff yourself. You just get out of the best props.
Yeah, totally.
Green accurate.
You keep adding on to it, modify it, use whatever board.
If you could make one particular prop each, or one project that just you magically got all the skills and materials that you needed to make it, what kind of thing would you do?
You want to go first?
Well, I think one of the next ones coming up, that again, it's my son asking for a BB1. So another shoulder bot where it's the little BB1 guy.
All right.
I forget the name. What is it? Fallen Order?
Oh, the video Jedi Order or something? Fallen Order?
Yeah, something like that.
Sorry.
But I think that's the next one.
Okay. Yeah, that's a cool one.
And Phil B's already offered to do the BLE controls. So you can just use the BLE Connect app to just control them.
Ooh, yeah.
That was going to be so fun.
Yeah. That's something you can really do. Something that I don't have time to do. Maybe like I don't know. It's like
time is a big thing as well.
I need time to think about that one. Yeah.
Well, I really love I'm finding this. I was going through your projects and I was like, oh my gosh, I build these like biohacking devices and like wearable tech devices with different timers. But you actually literally mentioned the same thing that of like a mindfulness timer. I've built a few of these kinds of things and I love your approach to it where you make this wearable case. Is this is that Flexi 3D printed or is it like what's it?
Yeah, the straps are Ninja Flex or TPU. So those are really fun. That's like the best thing to print with that material is like a flat armband thing,
right?
Because you don't need any supports. It's got perfect bed adhesion, and then because it's flexible, you can make these little nubbins that kind of press fit. It's a great material for that.
To the overhead.
So the straps are all Ninja Flex or TPU, and then the enclosure just is PLA.
Ooh, look at that!
And they have these little tabs.
Built-in button there.
Yeah. Ninja Flex is really great stuff if you're doing any type of strap, a custom strap.
And last week's show, we were looking at the new Chinchilla, which is like a 75A, which is way softer than any of the ones that have been out before. We just launched it from Ninja Tech. And it's like medically approved for like skin.
It's got a skin certification. Okay to use.
Yeah, it's super soft. And
and it comes in blue.
Yes, blue. Hackster.io blue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been using this as my daily case. It works pretty well. And check out that overhang. Like it's nasty, but it still works. It still works. Yeah, these buttons right here that are embossed, like they feel so good. So for making this soft touch buttons, like it works really well. It has a good feeling to it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
especially if you've got those little like side mount like little tiny buttons, and you gotta like click at that tiny little button with your thumbnail or whatever. But you could put a little nice
Yeah.
little that's so cool.
Yeah.
I like this Voronoi pattern you've got going on there. Did you generate that?
Yeah, it's a plugin in Fusion 360.
Yeah.
It's like a Python script that auto generates the. You just tell it how many cells you want and like what width and height you want, and it'll just be like, here you go. It's kind of great.
I did have to do some manual moving, like the sketches around it, have it go around the
of course.
the edge there.
It's kind of nice.
I wanted to mention for folks that aren't familiar with your wristband thing, I've actually found that there's this thing called the Neosensory Buzz wristband, which you can use in collaboration with the Adafruit Bluefruit Circuit Playground Bluefruit, and then you can make them talk to each other. So that if you want like a water safe kind of wristband thing that works with it, then you can use the Neosensory Buzz. It's got 4 motors, and then you can like control it with Arduino from here. It's super cool, but yours is self-contained, which is also super rad, and you can probably use it to talk to your phone directly, right? If it's Bluetooth.
Yeah. You could pull in whatever notification, because there's a good library for doing things with the notifications and whatever ones you can. Yeah, you can pull out specific ones, I think, too. Like if you want to break out the SMS or just have Twitter.
Then you have like the iOS controls for like music. You can control it through there as well.
Oh, that's
you
cool.
can see it in the picture there. Yeah, you get the notifications through iOS.
You mentioned using it for Twitter, and that's just like to me a living nightmare. Like, I love Twitter, and I spend too much time on there. But anytime I can like pull my brain away, it's like a success for me. No, don't drag me back there. Let me be free.
I know it's so difficult when we have to the daily posts for all the Adafruit stuff. You get like lost in there. It's like, no, I came on here to post the thing. Now I'm like going down a rabbit hole. What happened?
That is a huge problem. Right? Yeah, just like going on, because obviously we gotta find these sites interesting because we're making them, but then like you get lost in the feed because it's an endless rabbit hole.
It's like both work and like interest.
Yeah. Well, is there anything you'd like to throw in there before we wrap up here? Anything that we didn't get to, projects you don't get to talk about, or other?
I think Lamar and Phil would want us to mention the project bundle. So for all the projects, the code and the source file of that, typically it's been a little bit, having to find the library and then pick apart each individual component for whatever you're using, so like the servo motor or like the LED library. What the web team, the IoT team have been working on for a while now is having the GitHub being able to pull all of the dependencies that you need for those files and just have it all bundled up into one zip file. So which one of the Learn guides I think Terrako has it. When you go to the code section of any of the Learn guides, there should be now a button that says Project Bundle.
Yeah,
so if you go to
the code page,
Here's download code.
And you scroll down, I think, right there. Yeah, download. Right on top of that embed of the code. Should be a blue button right there.
Project Bundle.
Project Bundle. So that'll have your the servo library, like if you have like sound effects or BMPs or like.
Right. Actually, last week's project, this 32 by 32 pixel, that one has some bitmaps that are tied with it. Yeah. And if you were to get like this one, it would give you the I think they're MP3s, maybe they're WAV files. It'll have all that bundled in there. So Project Bundle, it's this really nice addition to the Learn system. So folks can quickly grab like not just the code, but the code plus libraries and assets. So
you don't have to hunt down all of the individual libraries.
Yeah. It makes guide writing simpler too, because now you just have one page as opposed to here's 2 pages, one page for just installing the libraries and one page just for installing the code. So now it's all in one. It's unified.
Oh, that's great.
So that's great. That's a great addition. It's fairly new. So check it out. If you want to build anything from the system, you just click on that button.
Yeah. And I think Katney's probably working on a guide on how to structure your code so that the bundle project file can be created for it.
Okay. And then the last thing I guess is tomorrow we do a show on the Wednesdays at 11 a.m. a.m. ET Eastern. Oh, there's a question. I missed it.
Oh yeah, it was just someone giving you props.
Oh wow, you got into electronics and Arduino 5 years ago. Sweet. I remember the drum project. That was a great one. That's great.
So your show tomorrow is at 11 a.m. and that's every Wednesday. Is that is that Eastern time or?
Yep, Eastern time. Yeah. That must be like what, 8 a.m. over there? That's good.
8 a.m. over here. I can watch it with some toast. Have some toast and 3D printing or whatever. Is there a name of this show?
Yes. Yeah, we should rename the show to just Noé and Pedro Show because
it's just 3D Hangouts. Because when we started, it was on Google Hangouts, and
it's been
gone for a while now.
Yeah.
Splendid. Well, I hope to see folks there in the future. Thank you so much for joining. I've been wanting to get you on here for a while, and then I saw that robot, and I'm just like, excuse. It's the perfect thing, and it's so cute. And then I started digging through all your stuff, and it's just like endless gorgeousness. So everyone, go check out the links in the description. Follow on Twitter. Is there better places to follow you as well? Or
I think that's it. Yeah, Instagram, Twitter, all the same handle names, and all the behind the scenes, like as we're working on projects. And if you guys have any suggestions, because a lot of the times we have like 180'd on a project because of suggestions from the community. Yeah, so definitely let us know your feedback. We will update the project before it comes out.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for joining us again. Thank you everyone. Thank you to everyone who watched and stuff, and we'll see you soon.